And welcome in to the Recliner Media Network here. This is Mark Sexton, Michael Stone with you on a Saturday evening. Yes, we know we're a little late to the party, but we are here as we are doing our episode recapping Volume 2 of Stranger Things. And, well, there was a lot of controversy apparently circling these 3 episodes. We'll dive into theories, predictions, guesses, explanations, discoveries, everything. We'll get into it here in the next hour, at least, right here on reclinermedia.com. Go to all of our socials and stuff like that, and go to our home base, reclinermedia.com. All 3 reaction articles are up on the website as well, kind of diving into episodes 5, 6, and 7 of Volume 2 of Season 5 of Stranger Things. Mark, how the heck are you? I know it's been a rough evening for you, but
hey, at least we're in the playoffs. That's all I got to say is we've locked in a berth. We might be on the road the whole time, but at least we've locked in a berth. Um, Besides the defense letting Derrick Henry do whatever he wanted tonight, we looked pretty good without a couple of key players. So other than that, I am good. How was your Christmas?
it was good. It was good. Ironically, a lot of Stranger Thing gifts were handed out to everybody, uh, especially
Nice.
some nieces who love Stranger Things and couldn't wait till 6 o'clock here to watch it. So
Nice.
there you go. So we'll get this out here. And how was yours, by the way?
It was fantastic. Great time with the family. A lot of good presents. So just thankful to be able to be home and enjoy it.
That's awesome. And we're gonna get this out of the way first. This is not a hating podcast. So all those posts you see everywhere in the last, I don't know, 48 hours or so, um, just bashing Volume 2 of Stranger Things. We will not be doing that. We're going to dive into some of those theories, though, that we've seen kind of floating around. There is one in particular I told you about, Mark, and I'm waiting to tell you on here. I've seen it in a couple different places now. Um,
I'm excited.
I could see it. I could see it happening. I could very much see it happening as we had, again, 3 episodes drop on Christmas. Shock Jock, Escape from Camazotz, and The Bridge. I mean, we now know what the Upside Down is, and so
Or
we'll
what
get,
it isn't, if you will.
or yeah, a lot of explanations of both sides of the coin, if you will, like you said. So we will dive into that. But what was your overall reaction to these 3 episodes?
I loved it. I don't understand that. I mean, I understand the hate. I don't agree with it. Um, I think everything built up exactly how it needed to build up, even though there was a few things I would have personally liked differently. Just in the fact of I wanted more of a big attack on Vecna, but they didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. I like I said, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed literally all 3 episodes. I think it's going in the direction that it needed to go, and I absolutely love the fact that everybody's now starting to slowly get back together and regroup. And instead of the breaking off pairs that we've learned to love, and or an old love with certain characters getting together, I think the fact that everybody's starting to regroup together is going to be awesome. So I'm excited for that point. But yeah, I don't understand the hate. I don't, like I said, I understand it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with episode 5. And listen, they're maybe the slowest of the bunch. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You kind of gotta. I don't know if rebuild is the correct term, but yeah. So this one, once again, titled "Shock Jock." Obviously, you have Max and Holly. By the way, Max and Holly, my
New
favorite.
fave.
Yeah, my
New fave.
favorite. Not only new favorite duo, but new favorite storyline.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't
Agreed.
know if it's A story or the B story, whatever it is, it's the best story because, yeah, those two, got to give a lot of credit to Sadie Sink Nell Fisher, who play Max and Holly. We got teased before this season dropped, Mark, that Holly was going to get a lot of runtime, and she has just stolen the show. Nell Fisher, obviously a terrific actress. At her, I think she's 14 in this. When basically the ages of when everybody else started, and yeah, just terrific. If you didn't know, she has an English accent, and so
I did not know that.
She's actually a really good follow on Instagram. A lot of the behind the scenes stuff on her page. She's funny. She does a great sit down with Jamie Bauer, who plays Vecna /Henry/1/Mr. What's It. So, so give her a follow, because if you like behind the scenes stuff, she does a lot of behind the scenes posts and stuff like that. But yeah, this storyline between Holly and Max, and just seeing their journey through Henry's memories is awesome. That's been my favorite storyline to follow so far this season.
Same, and it's still quite a mystery why he's afraid of that area. I mean, we did see a little bit with him bashing the rock on whoever that guy was, his head, and subsequently, at least what it appeared to be, killing him. But I love the mystery factor. Like, I feel, and either they're faking us out, or it's going to be one heck of a lead down a road where the shoe, you're waiting for the shoe to drop kind of thing. And I think the fact that they're still keeping that a mystery is one of my favorite things about the juncture of this show. And honestly, going through the memories and basically where he's stealing his own mind kind of theory that Holly came up with, has been the new journey that's kind of keeping everything fresh and keeping the escape, the regroup, and the attack, or the retaliation on Vecna, not only fresh but exciting. So I love that, and I love Holly and Max, and Max just such a warrior, and being able to help Holly find the warrior within. Like you said, new favorite. Love both those actresses. They do a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Especially when Max came out, kind of jumping ahead, but when Max is like, I should have never left her. I should have stayed with her. Like, just the warrior within Max to be able to be like, I'm willing to go back for my girl. You know what I mean? I don't know, love it.
It's funny you bring that moment up, and again, everyone's talking crap about that scene. Like, why did they wait? Like, just sit there and talk for so long in the void, or in the red void? And Max has her memory. Holly doesn't know, obviously, what this all is, and so she had to kind of create her own memory. I thought she was gonna like see her mom or something like that with the rest of the group, and then I thought Max was just gonna like. Yeah, Max gave her the confidence and the boost to see that memory. And if you noticed, Max's like memory, whatever that is, memory zone or whatever you want to call
Connection,
it.
Yeah.
It's it's all bright. Her friends are there. Lucas is obviously holding her, and you look at Holly's, and it's dark. She doesn't know where she is, and so she's kind of scared. And then they start running in slow motion. But yeah, so rewind just a little bit back to the start of episode 5. It's kind of the aftermath of Will, killing off the Demogorgons and discovering he has some sort of power. We now know that he's kind of siphoning the power of Vecna. It's not really his powers. He just can use whatever the mind flare installed in him to use, I guess, through Vecna, which is what a sorcerer does. That's, I guess, the true definition of a sorcerer. So he's not he's not a wizard. He's not this. He's not that. The true definition of a sorcerer is being able to use somebody else's power, through telekinesis or whatever the adjective you want to use. We see Dr. K still really hurt, and I love Linda Hamilton. Her story hasn't really been explained until now, which they're restarting Brenner's previous project. You saw all the pregnant women in that lab. using Eight's blood, aka Callie's blood, who, by the way, side rant. I do not trust this bitch. Sorry,
Nope.
but something's completely wrong with her. She hasn't convinced 11 yet that they should off themselves when they get to wherever they're going, but basically did like, yo, we're not coming back. Like, this is just this. Yeah, I do not trust this chick. And then we find out that she's using her hologram powers to trick Dr. K in believing she was still there. Obviously, she wasn't. I want to know how Dr. K became involved in all this. That's where I want to see, because they're obviously stationed in the Upside Down, which is a nobody has really been stationed anywhere.
Crazy business. Yeah, crazy business.
So, I mean, what do you make of us finding out that they're trying to get Dr. Brenner's project started up with Callie's blood, and now we know why she's hunting down 11, because they want her blood as well.
Right. And you know, that's one thing I can't make heads or tails of it, because part of me thought that Dr. K, once again, also love her very much as an actress, but Dr. K being, I almost wanted to think like, okay, she's like the red herring. She's gonna come out to be like a good guy. The very end, just show up and just kind of, you know, wear the white hat. But now I don't know anymore. And like you said, bringing up all the new you know, pregnant mothers and you know, all the different stations and everything. It's like, what the hell has she really got going on, and what program are they trying to figure out? And one thing I will say is I will be disappointed in a sense if it's just as flat as an idea of, oh, we're going to use this against the Soviets because it's the Cold War era. And I'm going to be a little disappointed in that. I feel like that's low hanging fruit. I feel like it's going to be a little bit dull, if you will, for a story. But like I said, I'm excited to see what happens, because I really, honestly, I can't make heads or tails of it. Every time I thought I had it figured out with that military operation, it's gone wrong. So I really don't even know what to do with it.
It's funny you bring up Russia, because even Dr. K brought up Russia. Like, listen, these things would still be in Moscow if we didn't screw this up, or you didn't screw this up. By the way, that one dude with the weird haircut, the main army dude, now that the other dude was ripped apart by Vecna. This dude was actually in the Stranger Things play that everybody's making a big deal of right now.
Wow.
He was one of the lead actors in that play. And apparently, Mark, we're supposed to fly to New York to watch this play, because it does explain a lot of plot holes in the show, which is kind of unfair if you don't have access to this play. But I've been watching a lot of these theory videos, Mark, so I kind of get the gist of how the play ties in. We'll get to that in a bit. Meanwhile, you know, we have Dustin, Nancy, Steve, Jonathan exploring the old Hawkins lab in the Upside Down, and they discover some key pieces as well. One of them being Dr. Brenner's notebook that Dustin finds, and there's a lot of information in here that probably I don't know how. I guess nobody found this before. I guess there's just a secret room that nobody's been in. And how long is he writing these notes? Because if you remember, the Upside Down is stuck in 1983. Like it's not. It doesn't pass through time. It doesn't get old. And because if you remember, they went to Nancy's room in the Upside Down, and it was when Will was taken is when she stopped writing, which was November 6, 1983. And that's the day we're approaching in the current day. And that was Lucas's theory. Like, this is when Vecna's going to start his plan, November 6, it's now 1987, but November 6th is the key date. And I guess I wasn't aware, Mark, passing through 5 seasons of this show, that 11 touching a Demogorgon in her mind void, created the Upside Down. That's what made holes in the lab. That's what did this. That's what created the Upside Down, which I guess maybe I wasn't paying attention, or was I? Did you just learn that in these last couple episodes, or has that been an ongoing? Because I don't remember hearing about that until now.
No. To be honest, I didn't catch it till the second time I watched it around just before these 3 episodes. I went and Like last time when it came out on Thanksgiving, I wasn't able to rewatch everything. I was able to rewatch everything, and they did cover that. But it was a very, very like a quick, like it's almost like the director and the writer tried to trick us as an audience, because it was very, very quick when they covered it. It wasn't covered very long. So I didn't catch it the first time either.
So yeah, so basically 11 created the Upside Down when she touched the Demogorgon in her very first mind void that we saw way back in season 1. So that's what created the Upside Down. And ever since then, Dr. Brenner has been studying it and taking notes, obviously, and doing this and doing that. And so that's where we are in Hawkins' lab. We'll circle back to that. Meanwhile, Henry, Mr. Whatsit, has all the kids now that he needs, all 12 kids in his mind at the house, frolicking and playing about. Even delightful Derek, who still love him as a character as well.
New fave.
I loved when he was like, he's going off into the woods, and the other kids are like, we're not allowed to go in the woods, and he's like, who? According to who? Mr. Rogers? He can suck my fat one. Just loves it. Just love it.
Fantastic character. I absolutely love when he was like, I'm no longer dipshit Derek. I am delightful Derek.
Yeah.
Just favorite.
And again, one of his scenes also when he finally catches up to Holly and Max in the woods, his monologue, I don't know it word for word, but obviously paraphrasing, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I was trying to save the world with Mike, and they're like, Mike, you mean my brother Mike? And he goes, yeah, and he rattled off everybody, yeah, and Lucas and Mr. and Hopper and Mrs. Byers and this and that, and he goes, and then I saw your face and Mr. Whatsit, and I knew Mr. What's-His speech was full of shit, so here I am.
Great, great scene.
And then they try to use him as part of their plan to distract Mr. Whatsit, and it seemed to work. And then, yeah, the whole, I just love the whole memory walking through that Holly and Max go through. Again, one of my favorite storylines of this season. And so going back to that play that we're all supposed to watch, apparently, so it had Dr. Brenner's dad was in the military, and some government experiment went wrong. He was on the USS Aldridge, and some experiment went wrong, and his dad actually ended up in the Abyss, aka Dimension X, aka Vecna's new home ground. That we learned about in this season. The first mention of it, kind of Dimension X, and then Dustin started calling it the Abyss in these last couple episodes. And ever since then, also, Dr. Brenner has been trying to get back there. And it ties in with Henry Creel's storyline as well. And during that play as well, Mark, Henry Creel, they used to live in Nevada, and that's where he discovered these caves, and that's where someone from that experiment, I guess, ran away with a key piece of that time traveling. That's what was in the briefcase, and that's what transported young Henry to Dimension X, and he was there for apparently 12 hours. That's where he first discovered the Mind Flare. That's how Henry, a.k.a. Vecna, a.k.a. everybody, got his powers. And wow. So that's what is explained. That's why he's afraid of the caves, because basically that's where his innocence was stolen when he killed that man with the briefcase. We don't really know why he killed the man with the briefcase still. Like, maybe they'll explain that. I don't know. But the
fact that he was trying to shoot him.
I mean, I guess, right? I guess it's self-defense, but a young little Boy Scout knows that at that age, I guess. I don't know.
Right. And why was he there? Why was he even in that area?
I don't know, unless he discovered it while he was just discovering the caves. But apparently that's why Henry is afraid of those caves, because that's where he experienced that as a young boy. So he was transported to Dimension X as a, 12-year-old. And ever since then, Dr. Brenner's been hunting him down. And obviously we know what happens in season 4 when we see the flashbacks of Henry in the Hawkins lab and so on and so forth. We know how he got his tattoo, 001. So he was the first, obviously, child experiment of Dr. Brenner when he finally got a hold of him. So that's how that was explained. That's watching these videos online and people who have seen the play. That's why Henry's afraid of those caves.
So a lot of plot points were stolen from us, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I mean.
Some very important plot points.
It's kind of unfair, unless
Yeah.
it's all going to be explained in the season finale. We don't know that yet. It's 2 hours long. You could fit a lot
True.
in 2 hours. Because the Duffer Brothers do say that they've tied up every loose end, so maybe that is explained in the season finale.
Very true, very true. Now, and here's the thing too. Although you're right, they could very well explain it. It's like what kind. Now I'm wondering what kind of shock factor are they after by holding on to that piece of information up until this point. You know what I mean? Like I said, because there's quite a few things in the show where I can't make heads or tails of, and I'm waiting for, like I said, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Where is the shock factor and why?
Yeah, exactly. And so that kind of tells us why and how, I guess, Henry is avoiding that memory and stuff like that. Yeah, I do like how Holly kind of took charge. Like I'm tired of sitting here waiting. Like, I don't know if 11's coming. I don't really know her. No offense, but I'm gonna keep searching for why Henry won't come in here. And she was even the one who said if there's an exit in every other one of these memories, there's got to be an exit in this one. And we're safe. We have all the time to find it because he's obviously afraid of this memory. So I like how Holly took charge in that moment as well.
And not only that, but I love how Max was open to it. Where at first she was a little hesitant, but she was like, "All right, let's do it. Like, let's do what you got." And just the very quick connection that they were able to have, that we all fell in love with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I love how she took the microscope and was like, "Look at this. This lines up with that piece of the cave," and that's how she fell through and discovered that. Yeah, I love how she was just sitting there watching until because that's what a young kid would do as well, just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
Until she was pulled away from it. But so yeah, now we know why Henry is afraid of those caves. And again, yeah, it's kind of unfair that we don't get to see that. And so maybe it'll be in the season finale. We don't know. And then you kind of go back to the radio station. You know, Mrs. Byers, Joyce is there. Robin's there. We have the Murray's there, and they're kind of just kind of thinking of what's going on. They don't really know what to do, and so I like how you brought up everyone kind of comes together because Joyce has been wrong about so many things. And by the way,
everything.
another plot maybe hole that I've noticed, and again, maybe I just missed it because I did go back and watch all 4 seasons before season 5 start, and I'm still missing things and still catching on to things. But remember when Max was in the high school, in one of Henry's memories, she finds that playbill that that was directed or starred Hopper and Joyce and Ted and Karen and Henry. I mean, wouldn't they know who Henry is? Or did I miss that too? Like,
I think I missed that.
Joyce has said Henry like 20 times, like, let's go, we got to get Henry, enter Henry's mind. She's said his name a handful of times, but does she, I mean, at some point, obviously an off-screen conversation had to have happened with like her son, who's been in the thick of the trenches here, would have said, yeah, it's Henry Creel. Henry Creel's name has come up in front of Joyce, Hopper, Karen, everybody.
Oh, wasn't it when it was when Nancy and was it Robin when they went in to go do the interview with the old man? What was it, Henry's dad?
Yeah, that was Victor.
Yeah, and didn't they say that name in front of Joyce?
Well, yeah, I mean that's his son, so he would know who that is.
Well, no. What I'm saying is when they found out who Vecna was, I thought Joyce was there.
I don't know. Again, maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't remember her reaction. But like, you think there would have been a small scene like Henry wasn't like this in high school at all. Like you would have thought somebody would have said something like, "Hey mom, was Henry like a dick in high school?" No, actually he was like the star of this play that we put on. Like why was there no like he sang Oklahoma perfectly. Like why was there no mention of any of this? Like they went to high school with the dude.
That's a fair point. No, that's a fair point. I think I missed it too, though. Honestly.
I don't think it happened. If both of us missed it, then I don't think it happened.
Yeah, yeah, no, because you know what though? What's even funnier is I didn't even catch that until you brought that up. Because I was like, oh yeah, no, that didn't take place.
Yeah, it's weird. But back at the radio station, they do come up with a pretty good plan, and that is to basically microwave the Demogorgon. As Lucas thought of that while he was warming up some popcorn. And hey, let's get this hive mind, hiving up here. And so Will can enter the mine. He does so. He's going through the hive mind and stuff like that. What I really liked too was when Vecna caught him and said, "You're my little builder, dude." And Will's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, builder?" And a small little flashback to what season 2 I think that was. Yeah. And he's like, "You built all these tunnels when you were sleeping." I did love that little connection as well.
Yeah, same. But you know what I love even more was remember like I said just before the Thanksgiving episodes came out, where it reminds me a lot of Harry Potter with when Vecna chose Will. Same thing with Harry Potter when Voldemort tried to kill Harry Potter. He received a lot of his gifts or powers, if you will, and it is connecting that more and more, where these two are more entwined because of that attack. That Will has this insight and this he's a part of him, which makes that connection even more special, I guess is the word for it, and it makes it kind of brings the story together. I love that.
Yeah, he was the whole crux he didn't mean to make. So,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I put this in one of the articles. I don't remember which one, Mark, and that was like, what? Unless Callie, aka 8, like does something miraculous in the last episode, like bringing her back has been pointless so far. Besides being a total Debbie Downer, we were all excited about her coming back, and she has just got nothing but to spoil the fun. Could care less about Will coming out. Like there was no need for her to be in any of these. Which here's what I'm gonna say, Mark, and this is the theory I was gonna hit you with on the show, and that is she is either the Mind Flayer itself, or she is working with Vector. It is one of the two theories that I've seen pass around, and the more I see it, the more I read about it, the more I hear about it, the more it makes sense. And what really turned me on to this theory, Mark, is that you remember when they showed the flashback as Henry as a little boy collecting spiders, and then fast forward to rewind to season 3. What was one of the things that Callie recreated with her mind? And it was crawling all over spiders.
Yeah.
And we saw Dimension X. What does it look like now that Vecna is holding all these kids in? It looks like a giant spider, upside down, of course. And if you remember what Henry said as a kid, he said, spiders are the most important predator. They're gods of the insect kingdom. Vecna thinks he's kind of god. And which also, not only does it look like spider legs, like a dead spider pretty much, but who also has that shape? The Mind Flayer.
That's true. That's great. You just dropped some knowledge on me. I need a minute to take that in. That is actually a good point.
Like I said, I don't trust this bitch as far as I can throw her. And then Hopper's just like, there's something off about her. Even 11's kind of looking at her like, I don't know about all this.
Right. So, and she is, and you got a point, because she is pushing hard for, one, the hopeless aspect, and two, if we don't die with them, it's going to continue. They're going to replace They replaced Papa. They're going to replace Dr. K.
But they're not going to stay there and die. 8 is turning 11 over to Henry, which is what he's wanted since all along, since she first banished him into Dimension X. Actually, he was actually banished, and I saw this too. He was actually banished into Hellscape, which was the very first bridge between Dimension X and, I guess, the right side up Hawkins. And that's where, remember, that's where we saw the Demodogs kind of walking around. That's where all those creatures are from. Like, they're not from the Upside Down, which again, I love that we now know what the Upside Down is. But where the has this flesh wall been this whole time? They just ran into it. Where did that come? Who built it?
Right.
Like, they just noticed this huge flesh wall. And
not only that, but why only at this juncture have we seen it? Like, not who built it.
That's what I mean, obviously the military found it because they kept going there and doing patrols and trying to figure out what it is. But we've been in the Upside Down for 10 fucking years, Mark. Why haven't we seen this flesh wall before? Why haven't we seen it?
Too true. And what's even crazier though is even though, like, what drives me up a wall to a point with one of these details is the military, like you said, the military was there. They're doing patrols, so they know it's there. So they just said, "Oh no, we're going to stop right here because the wall told us to." Like, like they didn't. Not one of them, as smart as people can be, or as dumb as people can be, I guess. You're not even going to look through it, not look into it. You're just going to say, "Yep, this is where this world ends."
Yeah. So again, all this time in the Upside Down, no one has ran into this wall before.
Yeah, except for Steve and his Mercedes.
Yeah, and then obviously that gets sucked through, and we all, that's how we obviously kind of knew it was a wormhole before that. And there's been Easter eggs in previous episodes, kind of showing a wormhole. Mr. Clark had it drawn on the board. By the way, I loved how Erica just recruited Mr. Clark into all this, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm down, I get." And then when 11 like broke the cameras for the first time, and he was like,
"You get too much into it."
Yeah, and then Murray's like, "Oh, that's just the beginning." Like, and
right.
Yeah, so I loved how Mr. Clark is now part of the team as well.
I love the growth of Erica. When she first came into the show, I was like, "Oh, this irritating little kid. She's such an ass." And then just growing up, being a badass at Dungeons and Dragons, and then taking kind of on this role of, all right, I'm a part of the group now. We're just fighting these, whatever they're gonna call them, and they're like, they're demigorgons, and it's like, oh, okay, that's what we're fighting. And she was down. She took that responsibility, put it on her shoulders. She's like, let's rock and roll. I love the growth of Erica.
Yeah, and I love how Mr. Clark's really not questioning any of this either. He's like, all right, well,
Schnookums.
And his skills have already, by the way, helped the team as he was able to build like a thing based on the walkie-talkies and was able to talk to Dustin in the Upside. So he's already contributing to the team. So that's cool. And then
I just love how Murray keeps calling them Schnookums. That's my favorite.
That's great. And then we kind of fast forward back into the lab. This is the scene I didn't like, Mark, and this we probably didn't need it, or we needed just a shortened version, which was the unproposal breakup weird thing between Jonathan and Nancy. I mean, it seemed like it was a half hour long. The whole room's melting, and then we find out that Jonathan had a ring this whole time and never gave it to her. And then they were like, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you." And then, so I was like, "Are they? Did they just break up, or are they just starting over?" Same. Like they got all of their, I guess, baggage and confessions out. Excuse me. And I was like, so wait, they're obviously not engaged because she threw the ring onto what now is frozen milk, and then they break up, and then I saw a video of the Duffers, obviously, and they said yes, they are broken up, which was totally weird. I love how she was sarcastic about Steve, by the way, when she's like, I could have went to California, but I didn't. And he goes, "Oh, for somebody else." And she goes, "Yeah, Steve," which kind of threw Jonathan up. But she was telling the truth though. She goes, "No, it wasn't like that. We're just totally different people." And it was. She didn't obviously go and do anything with Steve. But yeah, this whole scene was just kind of weird. I guess I get why you needed to put it in there, but you could have shortened that to maybe explain some other plot points or some other storylines. I don't know. What did you make of this scene?
No, I absolutely agree. I think the scene needed to happen, but the length was crazy business to me because for all the same reasons you just listed, and the breakup or the marriage or the, whatever it was so confusing. Um, because they didn't, nobody, there was no closure for the audience. I guess is the best way to put it because they were going back and forth, and it's like, oh, they're coming to common ground. Oh wait, well that was kind of weird. Oh, she threw the ring. All right, so now where are we at? Are they starting over? Like you said, are they starting over, or is it over, or what are they doing? And they never went back to pick that ring up, and then kind of Steve and Dustin break in and help them, whatever. But it was more confusing than anything. But the length for me is what did that in. I think, like I said, the scene needed to happen. The length was crazy business.
Yeah, and I guess I get maybe this is what the Duffers were talking about when they're like, we needed to tie up some loose ends. Obviously, their relationship, had been kind of spiraling since California. You're like, yo, why isn't Nancy here? Why isn't Jonathan here? Like, they're it's kind of been a rift since that. And by the way, I loved Hi Jonathan. Dude, I still miss Argyle, by the way.
Same. Where did he go? Like, I don't understand.
I guess he's still in California, but he did come to Hawkins. Like,
right? Did he come after they shut it down? Like where they blocked it off? So where did he sneak out? What happened?
Well, I know he was at Hopper's cabin when they came back, and
Right.
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, yeah, one of the. And by the way, Susie better come back and freaking see. Like, did they break up? Why didn't we get a breakup scene with Dustin and Susie?
Yeah. If you're gonna do that whole weird thing, like you said in the frozen milk with those two, we at least deserve that.
Yeah, like I thought they were a never-ending story, and then we never even got closure with that.
No, not at all. So these 2 hours, they better deliver.
By the way, Nancy and Steve should be, because that would be a badass couple. They should get back together.
Dude, well, a little side note here. You know what I loved is I love finally that Steve and Dustin made up and saw eye to eye after that big fight, after the big argument, after Steve really insulted Eddie, I guess, if you will. Not that I disagree with him, maybe how he handled it was wrong, but then like throwing the ladder up there, like I'm gonna go save them, and Dustin's like, "Don't, dude, I can't handle it again." Like, and then the ladder falling all the way down. I'm like, finally, dude, because like that was one of my favorites. Like when they first became buds, I was like, these are like those are the guys I'll be like, hey, let's hang out. You know what I mean? So I love that point.
Yeah, and and I was remember when when the first episodes dropped on Thanksgiving, I was kind of worried about Dustin. I'm like, he got beat up. He's still obviously mourning Eddie's death, and that's why he said, I can't have this happen again. To Steve, like you were just saying, and I honestly got almost, as bad as this may sound, I almost kind of got almost like suicidal vibes from Dustin. Again,
Same.
I don't know how old they're supposed to be, maybe 15, 16-ish in this realm, or this present day. But I almost got like he was just like, I'm gonna go, I'll go sacrifice myself if I need to. I don't know. I just got some weird vibes from Dustin. But yeah, maybe him making up with Steve kind of repaired all of that, and that was good to see, like you mentioned. So another theory I wanted to get out too is that Dart, I think we mentioned this, Dart is going to come out of nowhere and help Dustin and the group pave the way. Didn't Dart die, by the way, or did he eat his little nougat when they were in the tunnels and then we never saw him again?
Yeah, I don't know where he went, but I would love if he like just showed up to be one of the boys.
Unless he,
I mean,
they need
Dustin deserves it.
They need a mascot.
Right. Well, and not only that, but Dustin deserves it. I mean, he lost Eddie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And he gets tossed aside every time one of his boys gets in a relationship, right? So, like, I feel like Dustin deserves to have that one where like, here comes D'Artagnan gonna
yeah,
do some work for him,
yeah. He's gonna pave the way somewhere.
right?
Yeah, he needs to. Um, to the going back to kind of Max getting out. What did you make of that reunion? By the way, before that happened, I think Karen Wheeler is saving the name of Karen's everywhere because
Badass.
we all know Karen is you don't want to be a Karen, but you do want to be a Karen Wheeler. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, she just. By the way, I guess fuck Ted. We don't know where he is in the hospital. Um,
Yeah, he's gone by the wayside.
they're like Demigorgons are here. Screw Ted. Um, Ted's probably loving it because remember he was always complaining about everybody at his house, so he probably has a private room somewhere.
Nice and
Or
relaxed,
he's
watching
or
golf.
yeah, or he's dead and nobody told us.
And no one cares really. No, nobody's really. To be honest, I didn't even think about him.
By the way, my theory is Ted's gonna come like Karen did. Ted's gonna come out of nowhere and do something heroic. He tried though. He grabbed a golf club.
He
You
got the
know,
seven
he got,
iron.
he got a
He pulled the Tiger Woods wife. You know,
yeah, he got a few licks in and then was beat, thrown across the room.
bad,
But
very
yeah,
bad.
but anyway, Karen just is like, you got to look at those oxygen tanks, and maybe one of those little poor little demi dogs was Dart. I don't know. It could have been Dart, and Dart would have noticed Dustin's friends would be like, "Hey, let's get out of here." But they perished in the in the laundry room. But what did you make of Max's reunion coming back? Um, a very emotional scene, and another new teammate, by the way. I forget her name. Was it Marianne? Robin's friend slash girlfriend. He's
Uh,
not like a two namer like that, like a Marianne or a Joanne or something like that. But anyway,
yeah.
what did you would you do something? Look this up. What was your reaction to Max's reunion with the group?
No, honestly, one of my favorite storylines to this point was Max, just because of the strength that she's displayed the entire time, the will to keep going and keep fighting, losing her brother, ending up in Vecna's stronghold, if you will, finding yet another place to survive and keep going. Um, I absolutely loved that scene. Loved when she came back. I loved I guess not, I don't want to say realism, but the part that makes sense, because personally I've been in the hospital 2 weeks. I was sedated, and I know, yeah, you don't just get up and start running around again. So I think that part was kind of a nice touch. But the fact that even being in a wheelchair, she's willing, hey, push me, I'll go where I need to go, I'll help where I need to help. um I know Vecna's mind inside and out now. I've been in there long enough. Like, use me. I'm still a part, very much part of this team. So just the strength, the courage, like I said, the warrior within, is one of my favorite storylines, and Max has become one of my favorite characters because of it. So I loved it. I think they nailed it personally.
By the way, side note, can't wait to see Sadie Sink in the upcoming new Spider-Man movie. By the way,
Amen. Amen.
um, yeah, and then yeah, it was just let me throw this theory out, and I haven't seen this anywhere. This is kind of my own personal theory. I think that Max is still kind of corrupted. If you notice, she gives some weird looks. Remember when Will came back and he wasn't 100% back? He was throwing up darts in the bathroom and little baby slug dart. Remember, that was
Yeah.
little baby slug dart.
Yep.
And so I think Max's story is not over either with Vecna slash Mind Flayer slash whatever you want to call it, Dimension X. I think she's going to be entangled on the wrong side, like because when you like we mentioned when Will was there, like you mentioned, the whole crux he never meant to make. Now there's a whole crux in Max because she was in the Upside Down. And so that's, I think that she's still kind of corrupted. She did look, she honestly did look a little crazy when Holly first found her. Like, you know,
Right.
I get it. She's been surviving in this mine trap in caves and stuff, so her hair was all cattywampus, but she did look like she wasn't really happy to see her. And that could
Well,
just be me overreading it, but I honestly think Max is, I think, I don't know how to put this. I think Max is more on the 8 side of the fence than the rest of the group side of the fence. I think Max is a little bit corrupted. And also, if you notice, maybe again, I'm just reading into things too much. Remember in Will's coming out speech, we'll get to that here in a second. Everyone's like, "You're not going to lose me either. Me either. Me either. Me either." You know who didn't say me either? Max.
well, she's in a wheelchair.
I know.
Give her some slack.
Okay, but hey, hear this out. Robin said it, and she didn't get up and join the hug, though.
Touche.
So why didn't Max said you got to come over and hug me, but she did not say me either. And I was
Well,
like, that kind of ties into my own personal theory. Like she's hiding something.
hey,
I love Max.
that's
I love Max,
that,
but I think she's been corrupted somehow.
that's a good point. But see, here's the thing though, because of every reason that you listed, I think she's gonna be more of a Will and back on our side where she's gonna honestly I think she's not out of the woods in the sense of I think she's gonna be the one to die. She's gonna throw the connection she made with Holly after coming back and seeing Lucas. I really don't think she is going to be on the 8 side, but I do believe she's going to do some heroic stuff to get herself killed. I really believe that.
I think she's gonna die, but for the wrong reasons.
That's going to break my heart.
Yeah, I do, and again, love her character, love Sadie Sink, obviously, but I think she's corrupted. Just the look she gives out. There was one look too where I don't remember what scene it was or what was said, but the look on her face was like, this is dumb. Like this is like gave off those vibes, and then
Well, let's not forget who her older brother was. All right.
exactly, it's in the bloodlines. Look at how fully corrupted he became.
Yeah, true.
And
That'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Vecna's kind of been hunting her for 4 seasons, and that's
Yeah.
why he said, the fox is finally caught. Like, you've been evading me all this time. I do also love how Robin kind of figured out like what's going on. She pulls out like records and
The
was
records.
like here's Max, here's Holly, here's Will, and they're all in Henry's mind, but at different points in prison somewhere. I love how she like all these, again, a late addition to the team, kind of, and she's putting down. She's doing more than Joyce already.
Yeah. Well, the standard isn't high with Joyce, but no, Robin is another one. Like I said, and if you've watched the show before, you've heard me say it, but I'll say it 1,000 more times. I am a sucker for a writer who loves their characters, and you can absolutely tell the brothers love their characters when they've written how Robin became about and how she stuck around. Robin is one of my favorite characters because of the tenacity that she's shown and the ability to be able, once again, to take this on out of the blue and just stick around and be like, this is the goal, this is the mission. So Robin is just, I mean, clutch. She's clutch.
Yeah, love Robin. And Vicky is her girlfriend's name, by the way.
Vicky.
Yes, but in my defense, her actress name is Amy Beth. So that's where I got confused. So she does have a twofer name, but her actress name is Mary Beth McNulty, by the way. So I was close, but yeah, her name is Vicky. Again, Robin kind of invites her onto the team after she had to explain everything, and then obviously she was really convinced when Demodogs were roaming in the hallways in the hospital
Right.
after claiming Robin was a druggie.
I'm not a junkie.
Yeah. Clutch, like you said, very, Very clutch. Are there any theories that you've seen that you're just kind of interested in, or are you just do you just want to be surprised?
Well, no, I definitely want to be surprised. Let me lead with that. But my personal theories kind of align with what you were saying earlier with eight, where I feel like she's not. I mean, and here's the thing: I've never heard this theory, never read it anywhere, never saw it anywhere. Like I told you pre-show, but I did think eight was somehow corrupted by Henry, Mister What's It, Vecna, whatever the name he wants to be called by anymore. I feel that in some way, shape, or form, she's not kosher. The other theory I had was, and it was kind of touched on just very little, but with Hopper being ready to kill himself at any second. Once again, I discussed this last time we were on, where he's too down. He's too down to sacrifice himself. I don't put it past him to try and pull something smooth and pull a Bruce Willis on Armageddon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's too down.
Yeah. And I don't know. One of these dudes are going to sacrifice themselves, whether it's Hopper or Steve. I kind of hope Jonathan does. I'm kind of tired of him. Because I think
he's too dramatic.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think Steve and Nancy are better couple anyway. And,
Power couple.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate power couple. Is that by the way, over the last couple of weeks, like every actress has been on Jimmy Fallon. He had the Duffer Brothers on a couple of days ago, and they brought out a whole bunch of Funko Pops and was like, kind of placing them like where they are in the season. And of course, people caught because they had Max and Holly behind Vecna, so they were obviously still trapped in Vecna's mind. And then they had Nancy behind them too. Again, maybe another plot storyline that was thrown away, or maybe we'll come back to it. If you remember, Vecna pulled Nancy in season 4 and showed her a whole bunch of crap that nobody wants to see, and let her go. And she was supposed to come back and remember, Vecna's like, I'm going to kill your family. He came close. And now he's got Holly in his mind. By the way, Holly, the Wheeler girls are just badasses, by the way. Robin's shooting like
in the blood,
AK-47 shotguns. Holly's like knocking kids up with knocking kids upside the head with a radio, pushing dudes. She's obviously Karen, complete badass. But there's just something about, I don't know. I would like to see, I guess, I guess I'm just speechless at some of the plot points that are missing again. But what is Nancy? Does she still have the whole crux that he didn't mean to create? What's up with that?
That's a good point. I really honestly didn't put too much thought to it until you presented it just now. But Nancy, as I'm thinking about it, I think a good possibility, her and Hopper are just gonna go out like Rambo and just like in a blaze of glory type thing, where, like I said, Bruce Willis Armageddon type thing. I mean, Nancy's she's down. She is too down, and she's like, oh, we're gonna go shoot at the military. Bet I'm gonna hop outside on top of this truck, and I'm just gonna start laying down rounds. Like, she is not afraid, and she is down. And it's such a good point to bring up, because I think that's an untouched story, like you just said, where we might find out a whole lot in this finale, and we might be prepared to say R.I.P. Nancy.
Yeah, and this just came up in my mind just now, is what if Nancy's corrupted? What if this has all been an act? I don't know, because obviously, like we said, everyone's who's gone under the control of Vecna / Mind Flayer / whoever has come back with a piece of Dimension X and or the Upside Down tied to him. Obviously Will still gets the little the little ping on his neck that says, the hive mind is close. And
Right.
every time something happens, 11 kind of knows what's going on and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe Nancy's been corrupted this whole time, and she's been just a foot soldier, literally, for Vecna, and nobody knows about it. But yeah, that was a badass scene when they break down the gate and go in, and I love the moment where Dr. K catches up to the truck, and 11's just like kind of standing there, like, "What, bitch?" And they
Yeah.
shut the door.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that image as well.
Absolutely. No, and that, like you said, the whole scene was great, but then the confidence, the audacity is what did it for me, just with the whole team. Because the whole team, now granted, yeah, Elle was standing in front, but like everybody was standing there like, this
Yeah,
is what we're doing. It is what it is now. Like we are a step too far. You will not get in our way at this point.
right. And I love how Robin's like, that was supposed to be the easy part. Like, it
Right.
was. It was. By the way, I saw this, and this is probably my favorite image now explaining the universe we're in, by the way. Oh, of course it's behind us. What the never mind. I guess I won't show it. But anyway, oh wait, let me put it over here. Yeah, this is I saw this image today, and this best explains. Maybe I should put it on overlays instead of backgrounds. That would
Might
help.
help.
Yeah, so this image is probably my favorite explaining the universe we're in now. So obviously at the bottom, you have the right side up. You can see Hawkins' lab. And then in the middle, you see the upside down, the mirror image of Hawkins, although that is not where the Demodogs, Demogorgons, Demobats are from. They are from the top section, which is Dimension X, aka the Abyss, where now Vecna is kind of calling home, and where the Mind Flare maybe is, and you see the upside down spider. By the way, I saw a video today of but anyway, this is probably the best representation of what we're going through right now in this universe. So I like this creation right here.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great map of, and what's crazy is that's exactly what they, try to depict in the show. Once again, I watched it today. I wasn't able to watch it the last 2 days. Had a lot of things going on. So today for me, being able to see this after what they try to depict in the show, I think this is 1000% accurate. But also, it kind of clears any confusion up, especially with the upside down kind of being right underneath whatever Vecna's world is.
Yeah, and then you got to wonder, like, how is Vecna? How is the Demigore? How is everyone using? I mean, obviously, I like this explanation too. It's being used as a highway from the Abyss straight down to Hawkins. You got to go through some what were they called? Some portals or whatever. But it's a straight shot. You get on Highway 7. It's a straight shot to Hawkins, to the right side
Right.
up. Right, Demodog, so you know where you're going, right? Again, I did see another video too, by the way, and it was kind of a parody, like me watching Stranger Things with somebody who knows too much about it. And then they showed the upside down spider looking thing, and this was actually on a poster way back in season 1 or 2. I don't remember that, and it was the same kind of figure on a poster. I think in Mike's basement, maybe. I don't remember, but it was like a callback. So I thought that was pretty cool. Love callbacks, love flashbacks, so I was a sucker for that. So yeah, and then this last theory I want to throw at you. Again, these crazy videos of people who have way too much time on their hands. They saw because they film in Georgia. You're obviously going to have people walking around with camera phones, obviously, and they saw obviously filming in I think it's Rome, Georgia, wherever they are, and there was Mike and Hopper sitting on a bench and kind of in the middle of that town square type area, and Hopper was back in his chief of police uniform, and he hasn't worn that mark since season 3, mind you.
Right.
And so what came to be in this video is like the theory that they propose in this video is that whatever they're going to do in episode 8 is going to reset everything, and just everything's going to kind of go back to normal, but it's going to be like nothing ever happened. So like there's no 11, there's no Vecna. Something gets erased when I guess they're trying to blow up this this Dimension X, so Henry / Vecna can't merge the two worlds. I don't know, but that was their kind of theory, seeing Hopper back in his, or they do defeat Vecna and they're just back. But where's 11 in that picture? You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah, there better be a lot of plots that get tied off if I'm going to get that kind of an ending. Like there better be some great coverage
I've seen
of details.
I've seen this style of theory thrown around is like someone's been dreaming this. This is all made up in like Mike's dream or one of the kids' dream.
I hate that.
Or this is just a big round of D&D. So at the very end, we're just going to see them playing on the board. Something like that. I've seen.
I would hate that so much. I would hate that. Don't make me fall in love with a storyline to tell me it was pretend.
Yeah, that's probably people's most hated theory, but it has been tossed around a lot.
That's wild. But you know what though? They've done such a great job at writing. I'm not counting anything out. Like I said, this is one series in my life that I've not been able to be like, I've got a stronghold on this. This is what's going to happen. I can't make heads or tails of at least half of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think anybody really knew that the Upside Down was a wormhole. By the way, in this picture, like, is this the flesh wall? These outer things, or
right?
Because obviously the flesh hole is what's holding back the vacuum, right?
Which would make sense because that's out of the time space continuum, so that would make a lot of sense.
But that means
you're in nothingness. You're in nothingness.
Oh yeah, that's what's holding back the vacuum suction thing. But who made the wall? I mean, right. I would have to. Yeah, I want to know who made the big flesh wall, and
so they got Donald Trump in there making walls.
I don't know. I don't know. One of the most controversial scenes, Mark, obviously was Will coming out to everybody. Didn't really say the exact words, but he said, "I don't like girls the way you guys do." Again, we kind of were texting about this. Everybody hated. I mean, all the videos I've seen, everybody hated this. People call it the woke agenda needed to be put on. Everybody's, well, that's Netflix. Like if you've been watching the show the last couple of seasons, I mean, Noah Schnapp in real life is, so it would make sense for his kind of character to coincide with that. Right. But again, this is set in the 80s, Mark. Like maybe it was a different time. I don't know if this is going to sound bad, but walking down the street, you might hear somebody talk like Will does or talk like Noah does, and you're probably going to assume that, right? Just by the way he talks, and that's a terrible stereotype. But it is what it is. In the 80s, I don't think it was common for people to come out like this in front of a big group of people. Maybe it wasn't common for people to pick up on those voice notes like we kind of hear today and think, oh, he must be that, she must be that. Whatever the case may be. Again, I don't care about the woke agenda. I don't care about the woke agenda. I don't care about the gay agenda. Like, if you want to put it in the show, that's fine. That's cool. Like, but I'm not going to bash it. I'm not going to do this or do that. From what I heard from Noah, the actor, obviously, of Will, I mean, this took 12 hours to film. It was an all day thing. He was practicing the speech for months ahead of this just to get it right. And obviously it seemed authentic, obviously, because maybe that's what he
meant a lot to him.
But he can also draw back to it because maybe he did this in his real personal life. Maybe not with 15 people watching, but yeah. So again, didn't hate the scene. It kind of reminded me of the Jonathan Nancy breakup scene. Like, sure, I guess it had to be in there, but you could have made it a little bit shorter.
Yeah, no, that was my thing. Was anybody who hates it because he came out as gay, like, One, if you weren't watching the show, or if you were watching the show and you didn't catch it, shame on you, in a sense. And like you said, yeah, that might be a stereotype, but sometimes you just know, and that's not a terrible thing. And like once again, like you said, I don't care for the woke agenda. I don't care for anything else. The most important part of that scene, as I did find it a little corny, and a little lengthy, I think the most important part of that scene was everybody rallying behind Will. And that was the key points to get from that. And if you got anything else from that, either A, you're one of those people that just can't let politics and life separate itself, or B, you're focused on all the wrong points. Like I don't understand it anymore. Like I said, you've been watching the show this long, you should have already known. They gave out so many hints, and so many different depictions of Will staring at Mike, or how he felt when Mike, I guess, in quote
Yeah.
unquote, rejected him, if you will. I just, for me, for people to hate on the show because of that. Now, like I said, once again, I found the scene corny and lengthy, but I felt it was necessary. You know what I mean? And so, people to hate on it, I just do something better with your life. I don't know what else to say other than
Exactly.
the fact that, like, why did you let it bother you?
Yeah. So yeah. Hey, are you insecure? By the way, kind of skipped over this whole thing. So we saw, Mike, or excuse me, Jonathan and Nancy kind of exploring the lab on their little adventure, and they run into the circle of exotic matter. Where did this come from? They kind of explained that Doctor created it to hold the stability of the upside down. So I'm guessing that's what, and maybe Dr. Brenner built that wall. But remember back in one of the earlier episodes of this season, they're like, oh, the lab's got to be in the center of it. And then they're at the lab this whole episode, and you're like, wait, what? I thought the lab was in the middle of all this. Obviously not.
Right.
So yeah, we have this exotic matter. Nancy shoots with a shotgun, and that's where all the milk came from.
Boss move.
Yeah, again, why is there milk coming out of the walls? I don't know. It reminded me of like Ghostbusters, and all the ooze was spilling out over.
Dude, Ghostbusters, exactly what went through my head. I was like, oh, they brought this literally from the 80s.
Yeah. By the way, here is this thing, text from the 970. Here is the spider thing that was back in Mike's room, by the way. So I was close. I said Mike's basement. It was in his room in season 1. So there you go.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And that is called The Dark Crystal. It was a movie made way back in the day. So that is very much what it looks like. And we've seen kind of these Easter eggs. By the way, if you remember in the California season, and I was going to mention the California season because Will was head over heels from like that entire season. So if you didn't catch it in that season, by the way, you're stupid. But anyway,
yeah, shame on you.
By the way, remember when they were going into, I think, the pizza restaurant, and 11 to do the deprivation tank. 11 looks,
freezer.
Yeah, 11 looks at a big billboard. Guess what was on that billboard, Mark? Caves.
What was that?
They look exactly like the caves that Henry's afraid of. So again, another Easter egg.
We're in for a doozy. We are in for a doozy of a finale.
And I just saw this. It's going to take me a minute to get it over to the computer. But yeah, again, that scene, like you said, maybe corny. I saw a lot of videos too, like why is Murray there? Why is Callie there?
They're part of the team.
Yeah, why is Vicky there? Because they're there. Like, get over it.
Well, not only that, but they're a part of the team. Like, I
mean, I get it. They maybe didn't know Will as long. They don't know really what's going on. But they're just there because, like you said, they're part of the team.
Right. And not only that, but even though they weren't there very long, or maybe they were there from the start, whatever the case may be, they are all bonded together now with all the traumatic shit that's happened to them, if we're being honest, on top of it all, with the same common goal to really save the world. So if me and you are on a team and we met yesterday, but we have a common goal of saving the world, we're probably going to trust each other with our lives. Like, period.
Yeah, and I still didn't like. I still didn't like that Max didn't say "me too" or whatever. By the way, I just saw this as well. This is the diagram that Dustin drew on the glass when they were kind of making up their plan and kind of describing the wormhole, the upside down. So here's this, and I don't know if maybe people are making a too big deal of it, but look who's right in the center of the exotic matter in the wormhole.
Will.
So maybe he is holding the whole thing together. I don't know. Interesting.
Maybe he. Remember, on Thanksgiving I did say maybe Will dies doing some heroic stuff. I mean, I don't put that past these writers, as a fantastic job as they have done, but I do not put it past these writers to kill one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Remember, it all started with Will. The very first episode is named what is it, Missing Will Byers or whatever it's called, like the kidnapping of Will Byers.
Vanishing of Will Byers.
Yeah. So, I mean, it started with Will. So, I mean, it would not surprise me at all if Will goes down with that entire different world or wormhole, whatever you want to call it.
And Vecna has been saying this whole time, like, you were the first. It started with you. And
right.
Not only did he call him a builder because he built all the tunnels, but maybe Vecna's used him to build whatever is holding this whole thing together. I don't know.
Right.
And then the final scene of of episode 7, all the kids are at Vecna's table, a little seance kind of thing going on, and Vecna does his little eye roll back, and yeah, all the kids' necks crack up and look to the ceiling, which we all know that move. That's could have saw that move coming, but
yeah.
So I guess this is prediction time now. I mean, I have a feeling someone's gonna bust through the door and save all the kids, or I don't know. What do you think is gonna happen?
So I don't think anybody's gonna bust through the door to save the kids. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna be able to get inside. By they, I mean Will, 8 and 11 are gonna be able to get inside and stop him, and the others are gonna find a way into his dimension to be able to rip, I don't know, the hoses, the cords, the life-sucking succubus, which is placed upon the children's faces. They'll be able to rip those off and get them out while the other 3 are fighting, and somebody's going to die on that way out.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, someone's got to enter the mine, right? Like you said, 11 maybe. For some reason, I see like Callie walking from the kitchen, like bringing these kids some cake or something because she's working for Vecna, or she is the mind flayer. I'm holding on tight to that because she can transform into anything, or she can create visuals that's not really there, or whatever. I don't know. Like you said, there is no heads or tails about any of this. I'm glad we got, I guess, some questions answered in these last few episodes. I guess my favorite moment, obviously, is all the moments with Holly and Max. But another favorite moment was Karen just blowing up the demi dogs, possibly Dart in that mix. Poor Dart. And one of my favorite moments. One of my favorite moments. Yeah, one of my favorite. Now I lost what I was gonna say. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there is no heads or tails about it. I just feel like, one of my favorite moments is finding out what the upside down really was. That was really cool. So,
yeah, agreed. I think that one of my other favorite moments was Robin putting it all together and the team simultaneously, without being on purpose, kind of being on the same track. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, again, Callie is a very shady girl. Yeah, I'm really holding on tight to that theory. I think it would be super cool if that theory was true. Like she just like in one of the scenes or something, she just like turns into the mind flare. That would be epic, honestly.
That would be a killer ending where they had to fight her.
In my mind, I see like a army of spiders just crawling out of every crevice to fight off our team. I could see that.
Yeah. A fun fact: I am terrified of spiders, so I'm. I've got another reason to root for our team to go ahead and exterminate anything coming out of that world.
Yeah. So yeah, that I do like that theory. For as crazy as that would be, and it's honestly plausible. It's very, very. It could very much happen.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I said, I'm not tossing any theory aside right now because these writers are really good. I love it, and like I said, I want to be surprised, but I do have my own opinions of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and this before we get on out of here, one last kind of theory as well. I want to kick to you, and I have seen a little bit about this, and that is obviously traveling through these memories. There is a good side of Henry, maybe an innocent side of Henry. I don't know. The human form of Henry is in there still somewhere, and I kind of agreed with this. I can see this happening as well, and that's whoever on our team in our group saves Henry from the mine of Vecna, and Henry fights alongside with them to fight the mind flare. Because I think we know, unless we don't, which is I don't know how we don't,
Very
but
possible. Very
that
possible.
the mind flare has been controlling this entire situation. Vecna did not create the mind flare because if you remember when he was banished to the hell side, when 11 first banished him, he traveled through the hellscape and rolled his ass on up to Dimension X, and that's when he saw the mind flare. Did the same thing to Will, infected his body, spit him back out, and so the mind flare is controlling all of this. We haven't seen our good old buddy, that MFer, in a long time, and so maybe that's another theory that could come true, Mark, and that's Henry somehow teaming up to defeat the mind flare, and maybe he wants to live a normal life. We don't know. Maybe he wants to get out of Vecna's now very much strong and Ozempic-ridden body, but we don't know.
No, that's very true. And like I said, I'm not going to hate any ending as long as we go out in a blaze of glory and let somebody know something. Whoever that somebody is, whoever him's ass is, we got to kick it. Whoever it is.
Yeah. So I could honestly see that coming true. And that would kind of be.
I would kind of be down. Down.
I can. Yes. Like, hey, we're going into Henry. We can't defeat the mind flare because I think Callie's gonna like sneak off and be bad, like she most likely is. And they're like, hey, we cannot defeat the mind flare with just 11, and maybe somehow like Will can't travel into Vecna's powers anymore. So like, hey, let's bust Henry out of there and he can help us or something like that. I don't know. I could see that happening.
Right.
What is Henry's song, by the way, to get him out of his own mind?
Oh, he's got to be back in the Rockin' Robin. He's got to be back in the 60s, right?
I don't know. But yeah, so a lot of theories to think about. We got 4 days until the season finale, the 2-hour season finale, and we will be back right here with you. Not sure what day. Could be New Year's Day. Could be the next weekend. Not sure. Follow along to our social medias to find that out. Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, all of that. And obviously the main social medias, Facebook, X, and Instagram. So you will know when we will be on for our last recap, our last review of Stranger Things Ever.
I love it. I'm excited.
So yeah. 2 hours of our lives coming up on New Year's. Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, season 5 is so bad. Like, it's got the lowest ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. Who writes Rotten? Who is Siskel and Ebert still around? Like, who's writing this stuff?
I love it. I don't care what anybody says. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude. Like, again, we're not here to be negative on the show. We're here to be negative on you people who have literally nothing better to do. but to find the flaws and things, I guess.
Right.
So yeah, and that's again, your life must
Shame
be
on you.
pretty bad. Yeah. So we're gonna get out of here. Don't forget, stay tuned. We'll be back soon after the season finale, and yeah, it's gonna be bittersweet. It's gonna be epic, I'm assuming. Oh, and another thing, by the way, I saw was Noah Schnapp. Is that how you say his name? Snap?
Snap. I think Snap.
Schnapp, like Schnapples.
Yeah.
Anyway, him and Millie Bobby Brown, or Millie Bon Jovi, Millie Brown Bon Jovi, whatever her name is now. She was at they were asked in an interview together, like, do you like where your like characters end up? Do you like where they ended, their lives in this show? And I mean, the look on MBB's face was like, she just said, like that was it.
Oh no. Hey,
So-
but she could lead everybody astray. She could be keeping the
That's
surprise
what I mean.
open.
Like, again, are we reading too much into it? Or is she like throwing people off the scent? Because Noah was just like, oh yeah, but he's kind of been known to spoil some things here and again.
True.
But yeah,
true.
maybe Millie Bobby is keeping a tight seal or throwing us off the scent. But her reaction was pretty stone faced, like yeah. So I don't know. Just another thing I wanted to throw at you before we get on out of here.
Love it.
So there you go. All right. Yeah, don't forget to catch us here in a couple of days with our final recap and review of Stranger Things. For Mark Saxton, I am Michael Spillane. We will talk to you in a couple of days.